Hello everyone. I want to talk about the show called The Office. Now, the UK had a comedy show called The Office, and it had Ricky Gervais as the boss. He played the boss in it, right? Very good show, funny, right? Then America, right? Sorry, I'm just laying on the chair. Then America did their version. I had a look at it, not too bad. Steve Carell playing the boss, right? Fair enough. It was alright, funny, no problem. Then I hear Australia wants to do their version of The Office. Okay, fair enough. But there's a problem. I saw someone doing a bit of a talk about the Australian version of The Office, right? Showed a bit of the trailer, and the boss is a female, right? Now, the one thing that it should not have anything to do with is the word woke. Because apparently this version of The Office is woke. So I had a look at the trailer myself, and it's not funny. And there's a scene where they're in the room and they're talking about some guy, and she says, "Oh, what's his gender?" Right? And I think, well, if you're talking about someone that's a he, it'd be a male, right? And of course, it does. It seems like it's got woke. Now, it's supposed to be coming out on Prime. The new version of The Office Australia, right? But to me, it looks like shit. It's absolute rubbish, right? Now, I've only seen the trailer. Now, even though it comes out in October next month, the 18th of October, I won't be watching it because to me it does look like it's got woke in it, and the guy that was doing a bit of a review about it also said it looks like it's got woke in it, because it seems that people can't make good TV shows and movies without having woke in them, right? Now, remember I said the other day about the movie Deadpool and Wolverine? That has no woke in it, no political crap in it whatsoever, and it's been doing really well at the box office, right? Haven't seen the movie yet, but I've heard a lot of good reviews about it. I've seen the trailer. It looks really good, right? But the problem with countries making their own version of a show is it doesn't always work. Now, the only way a TV show or movie will work is if it doesn't have any bloody woke in it. This is the one word that should have nothing to do with any shows or in movies, for that matter. But as soon as it has work, it flops. Seriously. And if Australia is going to make a comedy show, make it so that it's like years later from one from years ago. The one, you know, the ones that were young, the kids, and they grow up and family, and make it really funny without having bloody woke in it. But it seems nowadays they try to make comedy shows and it doesn't work. Now, the one particular show called Mother and Son. Remember, Ruth Cracknell played the mother in it, and she was a bit of a, the character was a bit crazy. You go walk about, and she was, you know, you couldn't tell whether she was crazy or whether she knew what she was doing, right? And it was absolutely funny. Gary McDonald, you know, play her son, right? His brother and his brother's wife, and it was really funny, right? Then years later, they decide to have Australia decides to make their own version of Mother and Son. Right? Now, the actress, who was really really good actress, plays the mother. To me, not a good part. Now, the son skin was like a brownie colour, right? And his sister was black. Now, the only way someone would have a sister that's black, I mean, nothing against blacks at all, but what I'm trying to say is, the only way a brother or sister could have another person that's black, whether it's a brother or sister, is if they were adopted. And yet, there was nothing mentioned about it. After I watched it, there was nothing mentioned about being adopted. So how can you have, this is the thing, how can you have the brother's skin's really like a brown colour, and then you've got a female that's black. See what I mean? How is that possible? And the other thing was, I didn't find it funny. It wasn't funny. Remember the comedy shows years ago? They were really funny. Right? But nowadays, you've got to have woke, or we've got to have couples that are with the same couple in it. Oh, they've got to be gay. Oh, you've got to have that. You've got to have that in this show or that show. Right? There's no need for any of that. I haven't got nothing against gays. They're lovely people as well. But the point is, you don't push that into a show. But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, when countries try to make comedy shows now, they're funny. They're funny, right? Without bloody woke. But this version of The Office, Australia it's shit. It's thumbs down. Now, I haven't, and it doesn't come out until next month, the 18th. But after seeing the trailer, no. It just doesn't work. It will flop. Because you see, nowadays, and I've heard a lot of comedians say this, some of them say they've got to be careful what they say. Because as soon as they say something, that'll offend people. You can't say this and you can't say that. Why? They're not there to offend people. They're there to make people laugh. You know? Having a good old laugh with friends and family. Sitting in front of the TV, watching a comedy show, having a good laugh. Because the whole idea of a comedy show is make the audience and the viewers laugh. Because if it's not funny, the viewers aren't going to enjoy it, are they? And this is why they should not have made their version of The Office in this country, because it is ridiculous. To me, it looks absolutely stupid. You know, I mean, it comes out on the 18th. Now, because now the thing is, I said, I wouldn't watch it at all, because it's crap. It looks rubbish. It's sitting and woke. You know, what's wrong with the country? What's wrong with the whole world? It's ridiculous. Woke this, woke that. You can't say this, you can't say that. That offends. That's offensive. You've even got people going, we've got to change the name to that. We've got to change the name to this, change that. That's offensive. Seriously. If you're going to make a comedy show, make sure you make it without woke in it. Make sure that people are going to enjoy watching it. Because I can tell you now, when it comes out on the 18th of October, next month, the Office, Australian version of The Office, it's going to flop. There's already people saying that it looks rubbish. Seriously. Another show. The show Death in Paradise, right? Where you had the Death in Paradise, and it went right up to series 12 or 11. Fine. Then you had a spin-off with one of the guys that played the DI cop. And that was a spin-off. Fine. Then you have the one in Australia called Return to Paradise. The Australian version. I watched one of the episodes and I found it an absolute bore. It is the most pathetic load of shit show I've ever seen. It is absolutely disgrace. It makes a mockery. It seems to be makes a mockery of the actual show. Because they've got a woman, right? And they've made, of course, by making their own version of that, of Death in Paradise, they make sure the outside looks very similar to what this police station is in Death in Paradise, and the way it's all set up. Then you've got another female cop who's telling the female, who's a DI sergeant, right, is supposed to be in charge, and it seems like the woman that's a cop is the one in charge. That's not how Death in Paradise and the spin-off was. The DI sergeant, whatever the actor, male actor was playing that character, they were always in charge. Right? But of course, in Return to Paradise, it's a load of shit. She's supposed to be in charge, and you've got this female cop who's in charge. And there's some backstory about all of the differences and blah, 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 blah. It's a load of crap. So instead of trying to make your own version, think before you do that. Because I can tell you now, Return to Paradise, no. That's thumbs down. The Australian version of The Office that comes out on the 18th of October, next month. That's going to flop. So that's a thumbs down too. Seriously. You know, I was sitting there watching the version of Return to Paradise. Really? Nothing like the original. Nothing like it at all. It was crap. So if you're going to this is to the ones in this country, you're going to make your own version of a show, do a bit more research into it and have a bit of a think before you go ahead and make your own version. Because the version of The Office, shit. The version of Return to Paradise, also shit. They're both a load of crap, both those programs, those shows. So, but that Office, a load of rubbish. Anyway, take care. Bye now.